So welcome to class today. I'm so excited to see you all. We have a couple special guests, as I reminded you yesterday. So we have Josh, who is the CEO of the company, and he runs Flex, which is what we're in here today. And we have Miss Niki Spears, and she's going to read us a book about kindness, as we discussed yesterday. So later on, you guys will be able to ask the questions that we wrote. But for the moment, I'm going to let Josh lead it away. But you guys can all say hi and unmute yourselves for the moment.
Hello.
Hi. Hi. Hi.
Morning, everybody.
Hello, hello, hello. Can you guys give me a thumbs up that you can hear me loud and clear? That's awesome. A couple 2 thumbs up, which is great. We're all excited to be here. And Miss Aaliyah, I think that we'll have other people streaming in. So obviously, you can welcome them in and then mute them as we need to. I know you guys have been studying kindness all week, which is awesome. We can all use more kindness anytime in our lives, but maybe especially now, we might need more kindness in our lives. So we are so lucky to have a friend of mine, Ms. Niki Spears, with us. She is super kind and fun and positive and all those wonderful words. They're just oozing out of her, and you can see that right now. They're oozing out of her. So everybody should just soak it in because Niki is wonderful. So welcome, Niki.
Thank you, Josh. You're wonderful too.
Okay, thank you. Did my mom pay you to say that? She
No.
did. That's nice. Niki, we're gonna talk about kindness a lot, and we're so excited to hear the book. But first, we want to learn about you because I think it's important to understand how our kids one day, and maybe one day very soon with practice, can get to be like you, which is just be very positive. So let's start where it all started, okay? Tell us where you're from, where you grew up, what you were like as a student, please.
Okay, boys and girls. I grew up in a small town in East Texas known as Karnak, Texas. Very small population of people. I think in my graduating class, I only had 20 kids in my graduating class, guys. And so as a little girl, I was really shy. And, I had a lot of negative thoughts. I used to think of, negatively a lot. And it took me a while to learn how to transform that energy so that I could be a more positive person. And as I grew older, I wanted to work with kids. So I taught preschool for a while. I was a preschool teacher. And then I went on to work in other roles in education and was a principal of a school. And now I'm an author and a motivational speaker. So that little shy girl that I used to be, I grew up to be a motivational speaker where I speak in front of thousands of people now.
And so, Niki, I've had this question and I wanted to ask you for a while, and I might as well do it now. Does it ever get hard to stay positive? I mean, because you always seem positive, and so is the expectation, are kids, are you, are we expected to be positive all the time?
No, not at all, Josh. People think, guys, because I go out and I'm always smiling and having fun. You guys make me feel positive because when I'm around people, I pull their energy, and I can feel the kids online today, Josh, they just have a lot of positive energy. And usually when I go out, people are pretty positive and they're ready to see me, and it feels good. But no, I'm not always positive. Sometimes I get sad. Sometimes I get angry. My husband's online. He can tell you that. And, so I have all those emotions that everybody else, they feel. The one thing that helps me, Josh, is I always understand that things don't last always. Like if I'm having an emotion, like if I'm sad about something, sadness to me is like a cloud in the sky, are these emotions, and eventually they will pass over. So learning that and knowing that, it helps you get through those hard times a little bit easier.
I'm going to ask you a question, and I learned a long time ago on TV, you don't have inside jokes, but
Okay.
explain this. How do you keep your ride fueled?
How do I keep my ride fueled? Okay, again, I love talking to people. I love working, believe it or not. People don't understand when I say that. I love when I have a lot of work to do, especially like putting together the presentation for you guys today and getting ready for our time together, Josh, with the kids. I was just so excited to do this. So that's what keeps me motivated, keeps me going. I just love working. I love working with people. I love making other people happy. How many of you like making other people happy? I love it. I love seeing a smile on someone else's face because it makes me smile.
So how can our young people in the room stay positive? Because for all of us, it's a tough time, let's be honest. So how can they stay positive?
I believe that if we focus, somebody's raising their hand. I think they want to talk, but I'll answer your question first. I think that if we focus on other people and service to other people, doing acts of kindness for others, it always brings a smile to my face because smiles are contagious. And so we can bring a smile to someone else's face. Usually it makes us smile too. So instead of thinking about all the things that you can't do, I want you to think of all the things that you can do. So I usually have... Music make you lose control. Music make you lose control. Okay. Kermit making... Okay, my DJ, guys, is going to be in trouble after this, Josh.
Live TV.
I'm going to go smack his hands, the cloud, right? This is what I want the kids to think about. Instead of saying, I have to, like I have to clean my room or I have to do homework, I want you to transform that into, I get to do homework, I get to clean my room. And that's going to make you feel a lot better. So when you talk to yourself in a positive way, rather than a negative way, it usually brings a smile to your face. So I want you guys to try that today. Think of something you have to do and transform it into something you get to do. Can y'all do that?
Yeah. What about talking to other people? So we talk to ourselves. Now you told us about that, but what about when we're talking to other people? What's the best way to do that to transfer some of that positive energy?
Well, when you're talking to yourself in a positive way, then you're going to use positive words when you talk to others. So if you're talking to your mom, say for instance, your mom or your dad asks you to do a chore, you're not going to be, oh, I don't want to do that right now. You're going to have a positive attitude about it. And even if you don't want to do it, maybe you can ask, you can compromise and say, well, can I do it after I eat lunch? Or maybe after I finish reading a book. But it's always saying things and being respectful of people and not only talking to yourself in a positive way, but being able to talk to others in a positive way as well.
Okay, but what if somebody tells you no?
If somebody's definitely going to tell you no.
Okay.
You have a choice. Always understand that you have a choice. You can either react to the situation and you can respond like I said, with a negative attitude, or you can stop, breathe, and think about, okay, what are my choices here? And you can respond in a positive way. No is not always a bad thing. Sometimes a no is protecting us. It's helping us not maybe get into trouble. And so you're going to hear the word no. And it's your choice with how you respond to that. So I would suggest you stop, because we always have choices. That's our superpower. Our superpower is the power to choose a response rather than simply react. So think about your choices. Stop, breathe, and think about your choices in that moment when someone tells you no.
Okay. I think one of your superpowers is being a great mom, because I know your wonderful daughter, Brandy. I would imagine you're an amazing grandmother. So talk about Baelor and let's get into the book.
Okay, guys. I just had my first grandbaby, and her name is Baelor. And Miss Baelor inspired me to write books. And so my line of books is called Baelor Books, after my granddaughter. And Baelor will be a year old next month. And I can't believe it, Josh, because it feels like we just had her baby shower, my daughter's baby shower, but she'll be a year old August 12th. And so I'm super excited to have this book come out around her birthday. So you guys will get the first peek of the book because it has not even been released yet. As a matter of fact, Josh, I thought, should I share this now? But you guys are so special that I thought, you know what? This will be the first group I'll share it with. So
worldwide premiere.
Yes, exactly. Worldwide.
Where's that music when you actually need it, though?
I know, right? Yeah.
That's a good
DJ,
music time.
Right? DJ?
DJ. We got to work on that.
Almost like the DJ put up his equipment.
Yeah, it's all you. Let's hear the book.
Okay, you ready? Are you guys ready to hear my story? Yay! First of all, thank you guys so much for allowing me to share my first book with you in the series of Baelor books. This book is called The Hand Hug. I'm going to turn that down just a little bit, please. Okay, The Hand Hug. Ring, ring. Baelor awoke suddenly at the sound of her alarm clock. She had stayed up late the night before, worrying about her first day at her brand new school. She was sleepy and groggy. As Baelor brushed her teeth, she noticed worry bubbles hovering above her head. These bubbles seemed to appear whenever she felt frightened or nervous. Today, the bubbles were dark and made her feel gloomy. She worried whether or not the kids at her new school would like her. And the more she worried, the more other worrisome thoughts popped in her head. More worry bubbles appeared over breakfast. They grew bigger and darker like a thunderstorm blocking the sunshine from her day. Baelor was so troubled that she didn't even notice when her mom said, "Good morning." Suddenly, the school bus pulled up outside. Baelor grabbed her backpack, kissed her mom on the cheek, and ran out the door. Baelor thought if she ran fast enough, she could outrun the worry bubbles, but the bubbles moved so fast that they kept up with her. On the school bus, no one wanted to sit with Baelor because the worry bubbles were taking up most of the seat, so no one else could sit with her. At school, Baelor doodled and worried that no one wanted to play with her at recess. While she was doodling, she realized that the entire class had left for the day. "Baelor, can I see you for a moment?" her teacher said. So Baelor thought she was in trouble. What do you think Baelor could have been thinking at this time? How would you fill in that worry bubble? What do you think Baelor is thinking right now? Someone can unmute and share with me. What do you think she's thinking right now?
She's thinking that no one will mostly be her friend.
Okay, so she may be worried that she doesn't have friends, and I think she was thinking about that earlier that morning. Great job. But when her teacher asked her to come over to her desk, her teacher extended her hands and invited Baelor's hands into her own. And as she stared into Baelor's eyes, she asked Baelor, she said, "Are you worried, Baelor?" Baelor was shocked because no one had noticed her worry bubbles the entire day. How could her teacher see them? Now, guys, when you're worried, do you think that people know? How do people know when you're worried about something or when you're sad? How do they know?
It's because that you're not really talking a lot and that you're mostly like sighing a lot and you're like sad.
Yeah, it seems like you know how that feels. One more person. I see someone. Elena, with your hands up.
I think the teacher can tell because of her expression on her face.
Yeah, we can tell a lot by the way people look, right? That gives us a sign if they're sad or happy and how they're feeling. As Baelor's hands lay gently in Miss Thomas's, the worry bubbles slowly start to fade away. Miss Thomas gently squeezed Baelor's hands and she asked Baelor, "Do you feel that?" Baelor nodded. A refreshing feeling of peace filled her entire body and a sweet smile came over her face. Miss Thomas's eyes sparkled like diamonds. Baelor could see and feel the warmth and kindness extending from both her hands. "This is a hand hug," Miss Thomas explained. "A hand hug?" Baelor asked curiously. Hand hugs bring your mind back into the present moment and all your worry bubbles fade away. "My teacher used to give me hand hugs when I was worried," her teacher said. "I like hand hugs," Baelor said with a smile. The hand hug felt so good that Baelor didn't want to let her teacher's hands go. "I sometimes have worry bubbles myself," Miss Thomas added. "We all do, Baelor." "You do?" Baelor asked, a little surprised. Her teacher seemed so happy. Baelor couldn't even imagine her teacher worrying about anything. "Baelor, our minds are like little computers filled with thousands of thoughts. Some of our thoughts are bad, like a computer virus. We can tell ourselves things that are simply not true, like, 'I'll never be able to do this,' or 'I shouldn't have done that.' You can learn to talk back to those pesky thoughts, Baelor." "Whenever I get worried, I ask myself these questions," Miss Thomas said, pointing to a bright yellow card taped to her computer. Baelor stared at the questions and imagined she was looking straight at her worry bubbles and asking the questions out loud. Does this thought make me feel good? And this is what I want you to think about. When you're having worrisome or negative thoughts, ask yourself, is this thought making me feel good? Is this thought true? How can I look at this person or this situation differently? Fill your mind, your computer system, with positive thoughts, and positive things will flow into your mind, Miss Thomas added. She slowly let go of Baelor's hands. "Would you like to take a hand hug with you?" she asked. Baelor nodded curiously, wondering how could she possibly take a hand hug with her? What do you think Miss Thomas meant by that? How is Baelor going to take a hand hug with her? Is she going to take her teacher's hands home? What do you think is going to happen next?
She's gonna keep it in her heart.
Oh, wow, I should have wrote about that one. She's going to keep it in her heart. One more guess. How is Baelor going to take a hand hug with her?
Azusa, I see your hand next. You can unmute.
Maybe have her teacher give her a special sheet of paper.
Well, let's see. Do you guys want to see what happens? How is Baelor gonna take a hand hug with her? Miss Thomas took out a notebook from her desk drawer. On the cover, the words, "My hand hugs," were written across the top. This little notebook is a reminder of all the good things in my life, Baelor. Whenever I get worried, I draw a hand hug and I write down all the things I'm grateful for inside. You should try it. So you were right. She's going to take a sheet of paper. Miss Thomas pulled out an empty notebook and Baelor quickly traced her first hand hug. "This is what I want you to do," said Miss Thomas. "For the rest of the day, pay close attention to the people and things that make you feel good. Then write them down inside your hand hug. Make a habit of doing this every day and look at it in your hand hug every day so those pesky worry bubbles don't appear. Would you like to give it a try?" she asked. "Yes, I would," Baelor said with excitement. Unless you give these thoughts permission to come in, Baelor, they won't come in. Remember, your thoughts take place in your head, but your feelings are in your heart. So when Baelor hopped on the bus in the afternoon, the bus driver greeted her. "Hello, Miss Baelor. I hope you had a great first day," he said as he opened the door to allow the students to get on. "I have a very special seat for my new passenger. Why don't you sit in the VIP seat beside me, Baelor? VIP stands for very important passenger," he explained. "You successfully completed your first day at your new school, and I think that's pretty important." So once Baelor was seated, she grabbed her notebook and wrote down 2 things inside her hand hug: "My bus driver," and "sitting in the VIP seat." Melissa, a girl from her class, sat next to her. They laughed and chatted. Baelor kept her notebook in her lap, waiting for the next happy moment. As the bus pulled up to Melissa's street, they said their goodbyes, and Baelor quickly wrote in her hand hug, "Making new friends." When Baelor got off the bus near her house, she felt peaceful and relaxed, very different from how she felt in the morning. There were no longer any worry bubbles hovering above her head. Suddenly, a beautiful butterfly fluttered by. Baelor had never seen such vibrant colors before. She chased the butterfly as it danced in the air and flew around, always just a little out of her reach. Later, Baelor wrote butterflies inside her hand hug. So a lot of good things have happened to Baelor since she did her hand hug and she learned about the hand hug. What are some things you remember so far that's happened to Baelor? What do you think she's already written in her hand hug? Can you remember?
Oh, Rory, I saw your hand up first. You can unmute.
What was the question?
What do you think? Do you remember some things that Baelor wrote in her hand hug already? She's already written at least 3 things in her hand hug so far. Do you remember what she wrote down?
No.
It's okay.
It's okay. Anybody else remember?
Eliana, I see your hand up next. You can unmute.
She wrote in her, well, there's 3 things that she wrote in her handbook, but I'm only going to say 1 because I want to give everyone else another chance. One thing is that she wrote in her handbook, "Make new friends," because she made a new friend.
Ding, ding, ding. That is so right. Great job. Can anybody think of anything else?
Jacob, I see your hand up.
She also wrote butterflies.
Yes, that's right. And let's think of one more thing she wrote. Can you guys remember? Remember she hopped on the bus and what did she write down?
Azusa, I see your hand up next.
The fact that there was a special seat for her.
Yes, she wrote VIP seat. That's right. So by the end of the day, guys, Baylor's first hand hug was completely full. And guess what? She had to use space outside of the hand hug to write all of these things. She wrote her mom, dad, my dogs, my grandparents, mom's homemade banana bread, hand hugs, Miss Thomas, and music. Baelor couldn't believe how many good things had already happened. Her worry bubbles had faded away. They popped up from time to time, but when she grabbed her hand hug, she was reminded of all the good things in her life. The next day, Baelor couldn't wait to start her day. She was ready to write things down in her hand hug that made her happy. So this morning at breakfast, Baelor had a whole new attitude. Baelor thanked her mom for the oatmeal. And you know what she said? She said, "Mom, may I add strawberries and bananas?" "That's a great idea," said her mom. "I think I'll do the same." For the first time in weeks, Baylor's mom sat down at the table to have breakfast with her. Baelor couldn't wait to add this special moment to her hand hug. Why do you think Baylor's mom had breakfast with her? She hadn't sat down with her in several weeks, but today she wanted to have breakfast with her. What do you think? What's changed?
It's because her mom knew that Baylor's gonna have a good day, so she was happy to eat with her.
Okay, that's a good response. Let me tell you guys something. All of us we have energy around us, okay? Sometimes our energy is super positive and it's like a magnet and we draw people in. And when we have negative energy, you kind of push people away, okay? So when you have that positive energy, notice how people want to be around you more. When you're smiling and when you're saying using kind words and kind language, more people, you're like a magnet, and more people will want to be around you. When Baelor boarded the bus driver smiled and said, "Good morning. How are you, Miss Baelor?" "I feel great," Baelor said with a smile. As Baelor looked for an empty seat, she noticed the little girl sitting alone with a worried look on her face. The little girl's shoulders slumped over as she stared down at the floor. Baelor was very familiar with that look because it was the same look she had worn the day before. Baelor decided to sit next to the little girl. "Hello, I'm Baelor. What's your name?" The little girl slowly looked up and glanced into Baylor's eyes. Without saying a word, Baelor extended her hands and invited the little girl to place her hand in her own. "Do you feel that?" Baelor asked. "That's called a hand hug." Isn't that beautiful? So now that you guys know all about hand hugs, I want you to do a hand hug. I don't know if we have time to do a hand hug right now, but I would invite you to do that today. And we do have time. If you have paper, you can do that. Draw your hand hug and you're just going to trace your hand. And then what I want each of you to do, look at you. I want you to write down at least 2 things that you're grateful for, 2 things that bring a smile to your face. And like Baelor, the rest of the day, you're going to write all those things that bring you positive energy. You're going to write it down in your hand hug. And tonight, I want you to take a look at it, and I want you to see all the amazing things that have happened to you in just one day. It's amazing. And the last thing I want to share with you guys is, Josh, I would love to come back with my second book that's coming this fall. It's called Kindness is Contagious Too. And that book is going to be super amazing. We have Baelor as our main character again. And this time, guys, Baelor has to go home. She cannot go to school like most of us. She's trapped at home and she doesn't know what to do with all that time. And so Baelor is going to share with you some things you can do to spread kindness like a virus, right? The kindness can be like a virus. Thank you guys so much for listening to my story. And if they have time, Aaliyah, I would love to hear 2 things they're grateful for.
Does anyone want to share? Roland, did your hand up to share something that you're grateful for?
Well, can I cut it out? Well, first of all, can I cut it out? Can I make draw my hand and then cut the hand out?
Yes, you can do. Look, it's your hand hug. You do, and you can tape it to your wall, but ask your mom first, okay? But I love it. I'll put hand hugs all over.
Oh yeah, I actually do tips out to my wall.
Well, ask your mom first, okay, or your dad.
Yep, just
yeah,
ask.
my dad's probably not at home. He's at work.
Thank you, Roland. Dina, did you want to share what you're grateful for? Okay, you can unmute.
Sometimes when I'm bored and sad, sometimes I look at YouTube videos, but when it's not the time to do that, I usually look at something on my iPad.
Okay, so what you're grateful for?
Look at this Just Dance video that I made.
Oh, okay.
It's the song.
Oh, Dina, we don't have enough time to share a dance video, okay? Thank you, though. We appreciate us wanting to show us all.
She can write it in your hand hug. That'd be cool.
Does anyone else want to share what they wrote in their hand hug? If not, does anyone have any questions for Ms. Spears? Just real quick. Eliana, I see your hand up. Just a real quick question about kindness.
What made you think, oh, I should write a book about kindness? What made you think that?
Well, when I was a little girl, I always dreamed of going to a school where everybody had smiles on their faces. And as I grew up and I became a teacher and then a principal, I realized how much we need kindness, not just the kids, but the adults, okay? And so I wanted to write a book that would make people smile. And I wanted to bring more kindness into our schools. And what better way to do that than to write a book about kindness that everybody could enjoy?
Thank you, Eliana, for asking
That's
that.
a really good answer.
Thank you.
Does
Hey,
anyone?
I wanted to say something, if that's okay. I think I heard correctly that Niki asked if she could come back. And so I wanted to answer absolutely 100%. We wish you could join us every single day in our homes and enjoy, your positive energy. So the answer is yes. We'll make sure we get this amazing crew and more back when Kindness is Contagious 2 comes out. So the answer is yes.
Where's my DJ when I need him? Okay. I want questions now. Thank you. See, my DJ, we got to practice, right, guys?
One for 3 isn't bad in baseball. I don't know about in this, but.
Does anyone else just have one more question? Roland, I see your hand up. Is it about kindness?
Yes.
Okay.
Am I allowed to I want to talk to the author for a second. What was something else that you were kind for?
What? Ask your question one more time.
What was something else what you were kind for?
You mean something I'm grateful for, maybe?
I mean something that you did that was kind to someone.
Oh, something I did that was kind. That's a great question. Kermit, I was kind to my husband this morning. I made him, even though it was my big day to come on with you guys, I made him breakfast and I even made his coffee. So I think that was pretty kind of me because I thought he should have been doing that for me.
Yeah, can I tell you one last thing?
Yes.
Oh, Roland.
So my mom was actually very nice to me that day, because that day he gave me a cool class that was magic.
Uh-huh.
I want to show you some magic. I can show you some magic. This is quick.
Roland, we don't have enough time for magic. We
Well,
appreciate
this is a quick one.
Wow. Oh my gosh. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
You need to invite me back, Josh, to watch them in action. They have a lot of talent. I need to come just watch.
Who needs America's Got Talent when you got Flex One's Got Talent? You got some talented kids, you know? So maybe next time we can do that.
Yeah, I would love to come see what they have. I know someone wanted to show their dance video and then magic. We have a lot of talent on here. We have some talented kids at Flex.
We're going to let Miss Aaliyah kind of wrap us up here because she wants to kind of talk with her little people about what they got to see. So I will go on mute here, but first I will say thank you to all the wonderful kids who were listening. And then, of course, Niki, my friend, thank you for joining us. And Miss Aaliyah, awesome.
Can everyone say thank you to Miss Niki and Mr. Josh for coming today for class? You guys can unmute yourselves.
Thanks a lot for taking this cool moment. Bye. Bye.
Don't forget your hand hugs today, okay?
Bye. Yeah.
Let's wave to them bye.
I've already
See you later, guys. Have a good class. We're out.
So how did that feel? It felt good listening to the book? Good? You guys enjoyed it?
I'm glad that she was kind enough to devote some of her time to meeting with us.
I feel like that too. I feel like that was a really, really great thing for us to all hear. What are some big points that you guys took away from her book? Does anyone have anything? Azusa, you can go ahead.
That when someone else is sad or worried or unhappy, you should try to cheer them up by doing something kind.
Yeah, that's definitely a big point. Emma and Jacob, do you guys have a point? I see that you guys are unmuted. I don't know if they can hear me. Ariel, do you have a big point from listening to the book? I see you're unmuted.
No.
No? Okay. Anyone else? Eliana, Emma, Jacob? You guys have a big point to take away from the book? Eliana, you can speak.
I don't really know what that means.
So what's something that you felt was really, really good that you learned from the book?
Like when Miss Thomas took, what's the girl's name?
Baelor.
When Miss Thomas took Baelor to those 3 questions on the sticky note.
Yeah, those are great questions to ask ourselves when we're feeling down, just to make sure that we understand that moments like these don't stay forever. Rory and Liam, did one of you guys have a question? I see Liam. Liam, you can unmute yourself or something to say. Did you have something really, really good that you wanted to take away from the book?
Oh, I just want to show you something.
Okay, well, you can show me something after we ask everyone a question about the book, okay? Thank you. Roland, did you have a nice thing to take away from the book?
So I have 2 things. So I liked it when they did the hand hugs.
Yeah, I feel like hand hugs are really, really effective.
And then do you see that lines on my hand? You see?
Oh, you made it like how your hand really looks.
Yeah, remember that game where you have to like shape your lines to mean something? Yeah, that's what I did. And then now I'm going to cut it out.
Okay. Well, come back to class. You can cut it out after class, okay? Because class is almost over.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Did anyone make a hand hug when Miss Niki asked to make a hand hug? Does anyone want to share now? Eliana, I see your hand up. You can share what you wrote.
Basically, I'm gonna write in my hand hugs what I'm grateful for and stuff like that.
Okay, do you have something right off the bat?
So I wrote 2 things in my hand hug. Right. First thing is happiness. I'm very grateful for happiness.
Okay, happiness. And what was the other thing?
Another thing is I basically just wrote her name because I'm very grateful for her being here and for her just being able to share this book with us before it came out.
Yeah, great.
I can brag to my brother, but that's not the point of it.
That was good.
He won't care.
Anyone else have a hand hug that they wanted to share what was written in it? Liam, I saw you had a hand hug. Did you have something written in it? You could unmute. No, you didn't have anything? Okay. Rory, did you make a hand hug? Anyone else? Ariel, did you make a hand hug? Yeah, did you write something in it? Oh, I see it from far away. I see the hand, but I can't see what's written in it. May you share? Oh, TV and art. Okay, I like that. You like the TV and art. That's something you're really grateful for. Emma and Jacob, did you guys write anything in a hand hug or did you make one?
We didn't.
We didn't? Okay. So, if anyone wants to, we're going to get our gratitude journals for the moment. If everyone can grab their gratitude journals. Oh, that sounds fun, Azusa. I hope you're excited to babysit. Does everyone have their gratitude journals nearby? Azusa, do you have your gratitude journal nearby? Yeah? Okay. So what we're going to write is one word about how we feel today, whether it's happy, sad, excited, anxious. How do you feel right now? Do you feel good? I'm gonna write that real quick. Just we have a little time so we can play a game if you guys want to. Everyone almost done?
I'm done.
Okay, and I'm seeing that you texted in the chat that you wrote happy. That's how you feel today? Okay, good. What did you write, Liam? You can unmute.
I wrote happy.
Happy, you're happy too. Eliana? Oh, Emma and Jacob. Jacob wrote excited. Emma, what did you write?
I wrote excited because we're going to the pool at 4.
Oh, wow, that is exciting. Happy, Eliana wrote happy. Ariel, what did you write? You could type it in the chat, or you can unmute yourself if you would like. I'm liking how this chat is going right now. Happy, Emma wrote happy. Eliana, don't stop being silly in the chat.
Happy. It's a song.
Happy, Rory wrote happy. I don't know where Roland is. Roland.
I was about to press mute, and then one of the chat pops up, so chat just... So then I went in the chat.
I was very happy.
Very happy. Okay, great.
Someone write something in here.
Okay. Do you guys want to hear what I wrote? Yeah?
Yes.
I wrote happy and sad. I'm happy because we had such a great week and we enjoyed each other's time, but I'm sad that I won't be here next week so that we can enjoy it again. So so we can end it off. Oh, Liam, did you have something to say? You can unmute.
Also, today I'm just doing kindness.
You're doing what?
My dad wanted me just do 2 classes.
Ooh, 2
And this one and this one the second time.
A second time. That's crazy. A second time?
Yeah, there was 2 times of this in the days.
Oh, the afternoon class, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna do the one where we was. Never mind.
No, I know what you mean. So, to end off our time together for today, who would like to play a game? And someone suggest a game if they would like one. Oh, Emma and Jacob, you guys can unmute and suggest what game you would. There's people in the waiting room that aren't supposed to be here.
Like who?
Oh, people from the people who attended the book reading. Some of them are trying to come back, but the book reading's over and now it's class time. So does anyone have a game suggestion? I asked you to.
We were gonna suggest say hi if.
Say hi if? Okay, you guys like that one better. Say hi if. Okay. Anyone else want to play say hi if?
What's say hi if?
Say, it's just like stand up if, but instead of standing up, so we don't have to keep moving.
Yeah, I want to say hi if.
Okay. Anyone else want to play say hi if? Thumbs up. Eliana, you have something to say?
What's the other option again?
Just a suggestion from any of the games we played this week. Does anyone want to play any?
We didn't. Yeah, I mean, can we play freeze dance?
Freeze dance. We can play freeze dance. Does everyone want to play freeze dance? Thumbs down. Okay, I'm gonna get a group census. No,
I don't really care though.
You don't really care though? So, okay, a lot of people are saying say hi if. Ariel put a thumbs down for say hi if. What did you want to play, Ariel?
Thank you for noticing.
Thank you for noticing. Okay. Does anyone else want to play thank you for noticing real quick? Thumbs up. Seeing 1, 2, 3. Anyone else? Okay. So let's try to play a quick round of say hi if and maybe a quick little thank you for noticing. Yes, Jacob?
It's not thank you for noticing. Did you notice?
Oh, it was just a combination of the two, but it's okay. So who would like to start real quick a say hi if? Roland, you can start. I saw your hand first, and then Emma and Jacob.
Say hi if you have an iPad. Hi.
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 Okay, Emma, you can go.
Say hi if you like school.
Hi. Anyone on mute?
Yes. Hi.
Okay. Jacob, your turn.
Sometimes school's all kind of in my way, but I still like it.
Your turn, Jacob.
Say hi if you like games.
Okay, we like games. Hi.
Any game.
Oh, video games? Hi.
Yes, still hi.
No. Not just regular games, just like board games.
Oh,
Yeah,
boy.
I like those too. Hi.
Roland, are you about to leave?
Both those games.
Okay. Anyone else? Eliana, real quick. Eliana, did you want to do one? You can unmute.
Say hi if you love dogs. I have like 17 dogs. Hi.
Anyone saying hi? Azusa, do you have one to do? No? Liam, do you have one to do? Yeah, you can unmute if you have a say hi if.
Say hi if you have a cat.
Oh, I don't have a cat.
Hi. Do I have to go?
Hi.
Hi.
Okay, bye.
Hi.
Okay, Rory. You can
Liam,
go.
hi.
Say hi if. Do you have one? Rory,
What?
do you have a say hi if? Do you want to play? Do you want one to do? Oh, can't hear you. Ariel, do you have a say hi if? No? Okay. Since we don't have too much time, I will only be the one to do the thank you for noticing. So I'm going to do it real quick just so we can all get offline real quick. My goodness. Hi, everyone. Does anyone know what I changed about my appearance? Ariel, I saw your hand up.
You're wearing a bun.
I am wearing a bun, and it's a crazy looking bun, isn't it? So silly. I would not go out the house looking like this.
Like a bad hair day.
Yeah, it's like a bad hair day bun. So we're
I mean, at least it made your hair curl.
Yeah, it did. At least it did. So we don't have time left. Class is over. I'm so glad I got to spend the week with you all on this Flex 1 hour. I can't wait to maybe experience another time with you guys. Be safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Friday.
No.
The end of the week. I know. I'll be back soon, hopefully. But you guys be safe while you're at it. Have fun. Do whatever you do, okay? Bye, everyone. You guys can unmute yourselves and say bye if you want.
Bye. Bye. Bye.